how are you doing today? I hope you guys are doing great. And today I'm doing a video that's a little bit different, a little bit more serious on this video because I want to talk about something that's very important to me. It's very personal. I've never talked about this on this channel, but this month I wanted to make this video. I've been wanting to make this video since September started, but I've just been so busy with work and everything else. But I wanted to make this video before this month was over because I know that September is the ovarian cancer awareness month. So I wanted to make this video and share my experience with you all. Of course, you all know I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a health practitioner of any kind. Just telling you my story, what happened to me, and I'm not saying that what I had is what you have or anything like that. It's just my story about what happened to me and how I found out that I had cancer and I didn't even know. So yeah, something as scary as that can be happening inside of your body, and you really don't know. You know, you have no idea. You kind of think it, but you don't want it to be true. Like, you don't believe it, you know. Anyway, but I'm gonna tell you guys my story, a little bit about it. Of course, not everything in detail because then this would be a really long video, but just you know, some points about it. And I do want to warn you guys, I'm gonna be talking about blood, about periods, about all that stuff on here, so just letting you know, okay? It all started when I was about 30 years old. Well, actually, ever since I was young, I always had heavy periods. That wasn't a new thing. But when I turned 30, for some reason, it just seemed that it got a little bit worse. Like, they started getting very, very heavy. You know, I just assumed I just have heavy periods, you know, heavier periods than other people, you know. I didn't think anything of it. I really couldn't afford to go to the doctor. Usually I would go get like my yearly checkups, like at Planned Parenthood or something, because they would let you pay like according to how much you made. And I was a single mom. I didn't really have a lot of money to spare, so I would go to those places because, like I said, they would charge me on a sliding scale and I would only have to pay like 20 bucks, 50 bucks, or whatever they would charge me. And so I would do my yearly checkups there, and basically they would just tell me, like, you know, it's because your heavy periods or because of your weight. They would always tell me that was the reason. So I didn't think anything of it. They gave me, like, I want to say progesterone, which is like, it's kind of like a birth control pill to kind of control your periods. And, you know, that's what I was taking to try to control my periods, my bleeding. And it seemed to be working pretty well. I took it for a while. After a while, I stopped taking it, and my periods started getting, you know, heavy again, and kept getting worse. Well, this went on, 2 or 3 years passed and seemed to get worse. I started noticing there was a pattern. There was patterns too with my bleeding. I started noticing that when I lifted something heavy, it would bring it on. It would bring on the bleeding. So it would bring on my period for like 3 days or 2 days, then it would go away. When I would lift something heavy, sometimes because I would like to drink quite a bit. Sometimes when I was like on my 4th or 5th beer, I would start feeling like pressure, and then I would go to the bathroom and it was like a bunch of blood and big blood clots. I'm talking about big, like the size of the palm of my hand, probably. Very big. So yikes. But the weird thing about it was that it would happen. Sometimes it would only happen once and then it would just go away. Or sometimes it would last, like, I would bleed like that really heavy, like once, and then I would get my period, regular period, for like 2 or 3 days, and then it would just go away. So like I said, I, you know, just kept living my life this way, and that's just the way it was, you know, that I would bleed like that. And trust me, when I felt that I was gonna bleed, I had to run to the toilet because I couldn't be like normal. Like a pad, a tampon would not hold that. Like, no, it was like, yeah, no. So, you know, the years just kept passing by and it just kept getting worse. And I was convinced that I had, because I would look it up online, and I was convinced that I had fibroids. So I was like, I need to go to the doctor to get this removed and to get these fibroids removed, because I like self-diagnosed myself that I had fibroids because I felt like I, you know, had all the symptoms or whatever. I never really made the appointment to go do that because that was around the time that I lost my job. I lost my apartment. I lost pretty much everything except for my car, because I owned my car. So I had to move in with my sister. She helped us for a while, me and my daughter, and we moved into her home with her and her husband, and they helped us a lot. To this day, I am so grateful. I feel like God put me there for a reason, because when I was living on my own, you know, before, I was living paycheck to paycheck. I couldn't afford to go to a doctor. I couldn't afford, and then if they sent me to a specialist or if I needed surgery or something, like I couldn't afford that. And then I didn't qualify for medical help or anything like that. My bleeding just kept getting worse and worse. Okay, like for example, I'm gonna tell you guys this story. Because when I was living with her, then I got a job and I was actually working from home. I was sitting on my chair and I felt it. I felt the pressure building up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna bleed. I'm gonna bleed. I need to, because I was talking to a client on the phone. I was like, I need to hang up because I'm gonna bleed everywhere. I was like, okay, thank you for calling, blah, 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 whatever. And I hung up and I was like, I need to go to the bathroom now. So I was trying to get up when lo and behold, I needed to sneeze. And when I sneeze, it's like the whole block can hear me sneeze, okay? Like I sneeze loud. So of course I sneezed and bam. It was everywhere. It was on my clothes, on my legs, on my chair. It didn't get on the carpet, thank God, but it was everywhere. And I walked from my room to the restroom, and my sister was out there, was sitting out there, and she saw me. And she said, oh my God. She's like, that's really bad. And I was like, yeah. I said, it's very bad. And she's like, you need to go to the doctor. I was like, well, I barely started this job. You know, I don't get insurance until 30 days. So, because I was blessed that they gave us insurance right away. And so I said, I'm going to go as soon as I get that insurance. I'm going to go. I need to go see what this is, because this is not normal anymore. This is way past anything normal, you know. By this time, I was already feeling very weak. I remember I would be sitting down, and when I would get up, like if I would get up fast, the whole room would be spinning, and I would have to like hold on to something or even to the wall for a little bit to like get my balance. I felt very weak. I always felt like I was gonna pass out, or like just weak, you know. I just didn't feel good. Very dizzy at times. I wasn't feeling good anymore. I knew there was something wrong, you know. I was convinced that I had fibroids because I saw it online, and you know, I thought I had all the symptoms for it. So there was many times. There was one time also when I bled all over the restroom. I remember it was in the morning, and my sister was leaving, and I remember that I had bled everywhere, in the bathroom, in the bathtub, in the toilet, on the floor, everywhere, and I was so embarrassed. And then to top it off, it was in the winter, and I think the water had froze because they live like out of town, and so like the water froze, and like I couldn't even flush the toilet. It was a mess, and I was so embarrassed, but I felt so sick. I literally felt like I was gonna pass out, and my sister said she was leaving. She like yelled at me. She's like, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go with, you know, her daughter, my niece. And I said, no, she can't leave me. I said, I'm gonna freaking die here. Like, I felt horrible. So like, I opened the door and I told her, don't leave. I said, I don't feel good. And when I said I don't feel good, I just remember holding on to the door, and I just remember her moving me to the couch and sitting me down, but everything was kind of like blurry. And then she went in the bathroom and saw it. It was like a freaking murder scene or something, and she cleaned it, and she cleaned it for me. It was so embarrassing. And she told me, look, she said, if you don't have money, I'll let you borrow money. Like, you need to go now. She's like, this is not right. I literally felt like if that happened to me one more time, I don't know, I felt so sick, guys. I felt so sick. And I said, yes, I'm gonna go. So I went into the doctor, and basically he told me that they were gonna burn my uterus lining, and that once they burned my uterus lining, then the problem would be gone, because that's what was causing my heavy periods, my heavy bleeding. So I was like, okay, all right. And I don't know, something didn't set well with me on that visit. I was like, something like in my head told me like, it can't be this easy. Maybe because I had convinced myself that I had fibroids, but I was like, okay, so that's just it. They're just gonna go, I'm just gonna go in, they're gonna burn my uterus lining, and that's it, I'm fixed. And like something inside of me told me like, no, like it can't be that easy. And so whenever they called, because they were gonna call me to give me the date of the time that they were gonna do the burning of the uterus. And when they called me and told me it was on November 11th, I was like, red flag. Because you guys don't know, me and the number 11, like it's everywhere. It's always been showing up in my life in one way or another. And there's a big old story about the number 11 that I have to tell you guys one day. I'm gonna make a little video one day and tell you guys about this number, how it's always haunting me one way or another. First I was kind of like, ooh, that's kind of bad, but with time I figured out that it's not, that it's good. So anyway, as soon as I heard November 11th, I was like, nope, I need to call them and change that appointment. I'm not having my burning on November 11th. And I'm gonna tell them to do more tests on me, because what if I do have fibroids? Because I was convinced I had fibroids, okay? So I called them and I was like, I have my uterus burning scheduled for the November 11th. I was like, but I never got scheduled for like a sonogram or something so you guys can see if I have fibroids. And she's like, oh, they didn't? And she's like, okay, well, we'll go ahead and do that before the surgery, or before the burning of the uterus lining, because this was going to be like an in and out thing. It wasn't like anything serious. So I was like, okay. And I was like, well, I said, can you move my surgery to another date? I said, I'd rather have like all that done before. Was it November 11th or October 11th? I don't remember. Okay. Anyway, if I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen. If it was either October 11th or November 11th. One of those. No, you know what? It was October. And you know how I know this? Because my little niece had her quinceañera. It was right after my little niece's quinceañera that I got the surgery. And her birthday is on Halloween. But she had it a little bit before. Yeah, then I'm wrong. Actually, it was October 11th. And I switched it for like October 28th or something like that. It's all coming back to me now. Sorry, it was a while back, guys. Okay, it was a while back. Don't judge me. And anyway, but the truth is it was 11, okay? 11. So then I switched it, and then I went in to go get the test, and I went in to go get the sonogram. Well, when they did the sonogram, they found that I had these cysts in my uterus. There was some attached to my ovary, and there was some in my uterus. So at that point, they called me into the doctor's office, and the whole plan changed. Now it wasn't to burn my uterus lining. It was to go in and then decide what they're gonna do. And then she told me there's a chance that we're gonna have to perform a full hysterectomy on you. If we have to do that, is that okay? You know, I had to sign my consent and all of that. And I said, yes, I don't care. I don't care. If it's bad, take it all out. I don't care. And so then I went into the surgery, and I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared. I hate surgeries. Well, I mean, I think everybody does. I don't know. There's people that have them for fun, right? But I hate being getting put under and all of that. Oh, no, I just don't like it. So I went in for my surgery, and I was so scared. I told my daughter, I said, my daughter was there. My sister was there, my mom and her husband were there, and I was just scared, and you know, but I told my daughter, I said, everything's gonna be okay, I'll see you in a minute. And anyway, they did the surgery, and I came out of surgery, everything was okay, everything was fine. I came out of surgery, the doctor came out, and he told my sister that I had 2 cysts in my uterus. One of them was the size of an orange, like that, and the other one was a little bit smaller, and I'm not sure there was a third one. I think there was 2. Yeah, I think there was 2. And if I can find the pictures, I'll insert them in here. I'm not sure if I kept them. I know I probably did, but I don't know where they are. Anyway, but I have the pictures of them. And so what they ended up doing is they took everything out because I had too many cysts. And so they just wanted to take everything out to be safe, except for 1 ovary. They only left me 1 ovary. And the reason for that was because they didn't want me to go into early menopause, because I was only 37 years old when this happened. So they took everything out. They sent it out to Houston, I think. My uterus went to Houston to go get examined in the lab and all of that, to find out, you know, if what I had was bad or not. And so anyway, about a month passed, 2 or 3 weeks, I want to say, a couple of weeks passed, and I was scheduled for my follow-up visit with the doctor that did the surgery. And first thing that he said when he walked through the door is he had my papers in his hand, and he looked at me and he said, "You are very, very lucky." And I was like, well, I like the sound of that. and he said, "You're very lucky." And he said, "What you had was endometrial carcinoma, which was cancer inside of my uterus lining." He said, "If you would have waited 1 more month, it would have spread out. It would have started to spread out." So this is why I believe that me being at my sister's house and not having to pay rent and not having to do all that, in a way, like, helped me figure that out and find that out. That's why I say that everything happens for a reason, you know. Yeah, I lost my job, I lost everything, I had to move in with my family, but at the same time, maybe if I would have still been living on my apartment, living paycheck to paycheck, I wouldn't have had the money to go to the doctor. I wouldn't have had the money to get the surgery, because even though I had insurance, I still had to pay, you know, a copay and all of that. And I don't know, man, like, everything happens for a reason, you know. And it's very, and anyway, I just want to tell you guys, it's very important to get checked. The point of this is to tell you that it's very important to get checked. Look, if I wouldn't have gone, if I would have ignored it 1 more month, then it would have started spreading out. And God knows to what, to where, or what, to what extent, you know. After that, I still had to, they sent me to the cancer center, my local cancer center here. And I was so scared. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared because they sent me to the cancer center because they wanted to make sure that I wasn't gonna need any chemotherapy, that it wasn't spread anywhere in my body. So I went in, and they gave me my little book, Texas Oncology. That's you know, where I went, Texas Oncology. And then, you know, it has, like, so you can put all your appointments and all that. And I was gonna get rid of this book, but I decided to keep it as a reminder that something as scary as that could be going on in your body and you have no idea. You know, you have no idea. You think that it could be this, or in my case, I thought the worst thing, it could be fibroids, you know, but no, the worst thing is it could be cancer. So it's very important to get checked and to not ignore things like that, you know. If you have heavy bleeding, if you think that something's not right with your body, not normal, then definitely go and get it checked out, because you never know. And if you have a hunch, if you have a feeling like me that day that, you know, I don't want to get my uterus burning on my endometrial lining burning because I was like, I don't know, you know, I don't feel right about it. I need more tests done. I spoke up, and I still think to this day, I don't know, maybe it's my ignorance because, you know, I'm not a doctor, but like, what if they would have burned my uterus lining? The cancer was in there. Would it have spread out? I don't know. I still think about that, and I'm like, I wonder what would have happened. Because it was in there. So it could have spread out. I don't know. Anyway, but they sent me to the cancer center and to go get all those tests, and I had to go in. I drank some liquid. They put me through a machine, you know, to scan all my body, make sure that I didn't have any cancer anywhere and that I wasn't going to need any chemotherapy. So they did that, and then we left, and then I had to come back to get the results. And while I was sitting there, you know, in the waiting area, I was seeing all those people there, very sick. Some of them were very sick. Some of them were not, you know, or didn't look it anyway. And it hit me, you know. It hit me that we need to take care of ourselves. Because something as scary as that can be going on in your body and you have no idea. Like me, I had no clue. You know, I knew I was sick, and I knew that I probably had fibroids or cysts or something, but I just never thought that I had cancer. And you know, and I was sitting there, I was so afraid. I was scared, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I was scared. I was thinking, like, what if they did find something? What if there is something? What if I'm gonna need extra therapy? What if they tell me something else? It was just so many things were going through my head. I had anxiety. And then I looked to the right, and there was a little table with the magazines and stuff, and there was a little white Bible there. And I picked it up and I said, well, let's see what Jesus wants to tell me. And I opened the little Bible. To the first page that I opened it to, I started reading, and I want to tell you guys what I read that day. It was like Jesus was like a little mad at me. It was like he was telling me, girl, get a grip. Let me show you guys. Here it is. I screenshotted it, and this was on March 17th of 2015. I had the surgery on 2014. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 7 years ago already. Wow. 7 years ago. Thank God. Thank God. Anyway, this is the post that I posted on Facebook that day. You can't see it, but what it says, it says feeling blessed. It says, so I have been stressed out for like the past 5 months or so about something that's been going on in my life. And today, as I was at the doctor's office, I saw this little Bible there, and I thought maybe God wants to tell me something. So I opened it, and the first thing that I saw was this. I think this is God's way of telling me, I got this. Thank you, Jesus. And this is where I opened it to. It was Matthew 17, verse 15. That's where I started reading. It says, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is an epileptic and suffers severely. For he often falls into the fire and often into the water. So I brought him to your disciples, but they could not cure him. Then Jesus answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I bear with you? Bring him to me. And Jesus rebuked the demon, and it came out of him, and the child was cured. From that very moment, from that very hour. The part that got me was the part that said, "Oh, faithless, how long shall I be with you?" how long. It was like he was telling me, I got this. Don't worry. I'm here. And when I saw this, I knew everything was going to be okay. Needless to say, I went into my, you know, my appointment, and praise God, they told me that my CAT scan came out clean. I didn't have anything. Wasn't going to need any additional therapy. I was blessed. I was blessed because, you know, I was there sitting down when I could hear a person in the next room crying because they got bad news. And right then and there, I knew how blessed I was. And right then and there, I knew that we need to pay attention to our bodies. And if your body is doing something that's not normal, that you feel like it's not normal, go get checked out. Go get checked out. If you don't have money, I don't know, ask for help, get medical assistance, go to your local county, borrow money, whatever you got to do. But take care of yourself. Take care of yourself because life is precious, and your life is precious. And something as scary as that can be going on and you have no idea. So that's why I make this video, because I want to tell you guys, if this is happening to you, and maybe you Googled this and I came up, I'm telling you, go get it checked out. Go get a sonogram. Go have them check you thoroughly, because it's better. You know, I got my uterus removed at 37. I remember my friend telling me like, oh my gosh, you're not gonna be able to have any more kids. And I was like, that's okay. I don't care. I have one, and that's enough for me, you know. I was blessed with one lovely child. I love her so much. She is so amazing and so everything. And I honestly thought at one point in my life I couldn't have children, because yeah, I thought I couldn't. But I was blessed with one child, and I love her, and that's fine. I got my uterus removed at 37, and that's okay. You know, it was something that needed to happen because of, you know, of what I had. If I wouldn't have had that procedure, you know, who knows what could have happened. So just get checked out, guys. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Just get checked out. Make sure everything's okay, because like I told you, life is precious, and it's so fragile. So yeah. I don't want to cry. You guys know I'm a crier. I cry. But it's just that when I'm sharing something so personal like this, it's hard not to. And anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.